Hey, it's Rosemary here. How you doing? Okay, you know what? I get really kind of annoyed about what I'm about to talk about, okay? It's the atrocities committed in the name of God. I'm kind of horrified at times. Let me start by saying that, you know what, the truth is I can't be all judgmental about it because I've committed my fair share of atrocities in the name of God and love. So I don't say any of this because I'm kind of blameless. Nope. I've called people demon possessed because they didn't suit my way of thinking and being. I've tried to help them when really I just needed to love them, actually. I've been so rigid in my belief systems that I would rather stick to the letter of the law than love people. I can only apologize to anyone I inflicted my craziness on. And yeah, I can ask for forgiveness. And now, as an imperfect leader, I feel compelled to speak, to say what I see. And I say it because, leader, you must claim freedom. Freedom from the shackles of religion, freedom to be all you were born to be without all the fear, freedom to step into the abundance that is your birthright, freedom to no longer be a victim of any person's opinion about what you should believe, regardless of how anointed they think or you think they are. Let me tell you what I see. I see preacher men and women causing others to feel unloved, uncared for, more concerned with the growth of their ministries and their church buildings than the people that they're actually called to serve. People who look to them for love and kindness, they receive condemnation, shame, guilt, and judgment. And they are told that it was done in the name of God. Really? That causes them to forever wonder about this hateful God, basically. And then the sheepish followers of these preacher people ignore the atrocities happening right in front of their eyes. They're too busy vying for attention, hoping to get the preacher person to give them a platform so they can start their own ministries, basically. So they'll turn a blind eye to anything else that they see. They're just waiting to be given permission to start their own thing, permission that never really ever comes. I just see so many people hurt, moving away because they were waiting for something that was never anybody else's to give them. Okay, if anybody does go on to speak up and say what they feel about what they see, then either they're kind of demon possessed or they're straying away from the fold. Everybody needs to avoid them. They're backslidden, as though the preacher person is the only one that can hear from God. Really? And unfortunately, in most cases, they are the only one that hears, because the followers generally have no direct line themselves to God. They just listen into this dude or dudette, basically just who is just like them, just another human being like themselves, and they take whatever words kind of spew out of this person's mouth as the gospel truth. These followers are desperate to hear from God themselves, but they wonder if they've done something wrong because they just cannot tap into intuition. No one is teaching them how, because who even knows? Who knows why nobody's teaching them? Everybody tells you, walk by the Spirit, they tell you, but no one shows you how. God is love, they tell you, but be honest. If you're really, truly honest, you actually feel loved, really. Or have you kind of been going through the motions saying that this is the way I'm supposed to feel, basically, instead of recognizing that actually I don't know I don't feel loved. And yeah, all those people telling you, you should know that you know that you know. You don't know! Okay? So it's a nonsense. It is an absolute nonsense. And so all we're left with are followers who are scared to stray away from their religious organization in case the wrath of God or the judgment of God gets poured on them. Or in case the scary threat of the lightning bolt from the heavens kind of just lights them up for even daring to think such a thing. They're too scared to question anything because they're absolutely petrified of going to hell. They're too scared to be the powerful leaders they're created to be, just in case they make a mistake and end up punished for all eternity. And yet they sing of a song of love, a God of love. They raise their hands to the heaven, they clap, they dance to a God of love. But really, they don't believe it. What parent would treat their child in this way except really the most depraved? The type of parent that actually, if we saw, we would lock them up. We wouldn't revere that parent. And yet, leader, you're telling yourself that is God. Really? Really? You assign these characteristics of the devil to a God of love, and you never even think to question it because, oh no, it's just the way it is. We're supposed to walk by faith. Or more to the point, you're a little too scared to question it, and so you trap yourself in a cage of your own making. And yes, I bring it back to you, leader, because when it comes down to it, honey, no one can hurt you in this way unless you give them your consent. And I know that if you feel trapped in this situation, it can be kind of really tough to see what is happening. And maybe you'll condemn me for even talking about it. After all, I'm supposed to be in the fold. But I must speak because I want you to be free. Okay, I want you to be free. You have work to be done on this planet and you're wasting time faffing around with this nonsense. You have money to make, okay, for you and for your family. You have abundance to tap into, life in all its abundance. You have a message to spread. And while you stay trapped in this horrid situation, you are not impacting the people you are called to impact. And you're certainly not making the money you want to make. The truth will always stand up to scrutiny. Always, always, always stand up to scrutiny. You no longer have to just kind of go along with beliefs that you've had since you were born. You can now choose your own. And it's time for you to choose freedom. Number one, do whatever it takes to learn how to hear yourself from your own higher power. You can't keep depending on these second-hand opinions. Everything needs to be filtered through your own spiritual connection before you take it on as some kind of the truth. Number two, dare to ask the questions that have hounded you and feel yourself led to the answer, or even you'll hear the answer as soon as you ask it. You will be surprised about this. Trust that your higher power actually does want to speak to you as much as you want to hear from him or her or whatever you call it, basically. So ask with no fear. Number three, if you claim to believe in a God of love, then live like it. Live an ever-expanding life rather than giving into fear when you wonder what you're allowed to do or not allowed to do. Mistakes don't make you a bad person. In fact, they're more likely to make you better for having learned the lesson from it. So if you say God is love, you know that nothing is going to separate you from that love. So why do you have to live this small, caged-up life? Honey, it's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you are born to live. And I've put together another video for you, okay? You can get that. It's all about how your sexuality, your spirituality can make you rich doing only what you love. You can get it completely free, okay? No opt-in, no nothing. Go get it. It's at rosemarynonnynight.com/free SSS, or listen into it. Basically, listen to it on your phone or listen to it on your computer, whatever. You need to listen to it though, because it will reveal some stuff to you that you may not have been considering that is holding you back from the ministry, the books, the music, the products, the services, the art that you know you want to put out in the world. Okay? So go get it. Go listen into it and be free. It's time for freedom. It's time to tap into wealth. It's time to tap into impact. That is what you're born for. It is time to deliberately design the life you're born to live because you want to. I look forward to welcome you into the community. Okay then, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.